All right. Good morning. Good morning, and welcome to our Friday morning builder call. Today is September 28th. So guess what today is? It is the last day to take advantage of that level up promo. And so I'm going to encourage you to reach out to your team and really help them understand the benefits of this level up promo. All right. Those of you who have enrollments less than 3 months, this would be a really, actually less than 6 months would be a really advantageous thing. Those that have been 6 months, they're moving up to 20% very soon if they've been on the loyalty rewards order. And if they haven't, get them on the loyalty rewards order. So that's a fabulous deal. I have never seen doTERRA offer this kind of a promo before. So I'm really excited about it. So, all right. So how's your week been? What's going well? What needs to be going better? I am really, really excited about these new products that we got at convention. So for the last 2 days, I've done a new product preview at my home. I did one Wednesday night, and then I did one yesterday in the afternoon. Yesterday's was much quicker because I had so many things going. And so I did it in 45 minutes. The night before, I was there 2 hours and then had people lingering for another hour afterwards. But I served food, and yesterday I didn't. Not that I shouldn't have or should have, but I knew that I had from 1 to 1:45 to go through the information. Then I had another 5 to 10 minutes to get them out the door and be at the school to pick up my son at 2 p.m. So at any rate, it was much shorter. But let me tell you, as I've gone through these new products, I have been so excited. And I asked everybody that came to this new product preview to make a list of people they knew that needed what we were talking about. And do you think I got any names? Yeah. Okay. Now, the mistake I made was not taking their names list before they left. That was the mistake I made. So I get a chance to follow up with them and get those names from them and get some referrals. But everybody that was here thought of people that they could help that needed these products. And so that was the good news. And so now I get to follow up with them. I probably should have done that a little differently. So there you have it. What's going well, what needs to be going better. And I do that all day long. I evaluate myself all day long. And so that's something that I could have done better. But I got to tell you, my husband said this morning, something about the celery seed. Oh, I know what it was. He's been using the celery seed juice or oil. He has not been juicing celery like I have for the last few months. And so he said, I'll be the guinea pig of the celery seed oil, and you carry on with your celery seed juicing. Well, I actually started using the celery seed last week. So I've been doing it for about 10 days. And so I get up in the morning and I drink a quart of warm water. And the last 10 days, I've been taking celery seed. I initially put celery seed and lemon oil in my warm water. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really love it. And I had a hard time getting that quart down. You're smiling, Dana, you know what I'm talking about, right? And so the last 4 or maybe 5 days, I just put 4 drops under my tongue and then I drink my warm lemon water. And that's been so much more palatable, okay? So celery seed is not pleasant. But I was talking with the ladies these last 2 days. All I had was ladies that came. But these last 2 days, I've been talking with them. And several of them were brave enough to try it right off the bat. And they were like, oh, that's not too bad. Oh, yes, it is. They remember Dr. Hill's response at convention. And they were like, oh, yeah, that is kind of nasty. But when they mixed it with lemon oil or a citrus oil, some of them put different kinds of citrus in their glass. When they mixed it with that, it was much more palatable. So remember what Dr. Hill said with the linalool, that if we mix it with something with linalool, the citrus oils, fennel, coriander, lavender, those all have really high amounts of linalool, that it will kind of neutralize that potency of that celery seed, the bitterness, okay? And so at any rate, those that did that did really well. But every single person that came said, oh, I need that. Every single one. And so Jays came to me this morning and he said, did you notice kind of a sense of kind of malaise, a little bit of uptightness or upset stomach? He hasn't felt really great since he started this celery oil, okay? And I said, yeah. I said it's doing its job. And then he couldn't remember. He was like, now what is it doing? And I said, well, it's really cleansing and healing the mucous membranes from the mouth through the rectum. And he was like, I don't remember getting that. And I said to him, do you remember Dr. Hill talking about 4 protocols? the esophagus protocol, the stomach protocol, the intestinal protocol, and the urinary tract protocol. Do you remember that? And he said, no, I don't remember that. And so anyway, then that was the end of the conversation. He had to go, I had to go. And so at any rate, it's been a really great experience the last couple of days, educating others on these new products and realizing what it's doing. And so I have noticed something interesting. And it just hit me yesterday when I was talking about the Yarrow Palm capsules. It just hit me yesterday that since I started this, now I've been doing celery juicing since July 12th, okay? And since I added the celery seed oil, I have not had hot flashes at all. Now, maybe it's the turmeric, because I'm taking that too. Maybe it's the Yarrow Palm capsules, but I haven't been as consistent with the Yarrow Palm capsules as I have with the celery seed. And I missed a couple of days with the turmeric. I'm not sure how that happened because I usually take my turmeric with my celery seed and lemon oil water. And so I did that again this morning, but I think I missed it the last 2 days. So I don't know what's causing that, but let me tell you, I know that there's a cleansing taking place because I don't have any hot flashes for the last about 10 days. So I attributed it to celery seed because that's about when I started celery seed. So interesting, as we clean up the toxins in the body, it works so much better. So that's a big aha for me. And I've been so excited about that prospect. And that's added more people to my list. So what's been going well for you? What needs to be going better for you?
Okay, so this week was a kind of a crazy week for me. I co-taught a class Crossline Monday night, which was fun, and with an old friend of mine, so I enjoyed that. And then Tuesday night, I did our post-convention preview, and so I did a slideshow, and we had a pretty good turnout. I think I decided there was 3 or 4 Crossline, and then the rest were my team. I'd like to say I had new people. I invited a lot of new people, but I didn't have new people come. So that is one thing that could be better for sure. And then, and I think sometimes, and I know Jade and Ben have talked about it, people are tired at night and, they work all day and they just don't see the value in coming out at night, so I need to get to, I find I'm much more successful with a lot of working people, meeting them personally on their schedule. And then once they start using the product, then they'll come to some of my classes. So I just need to remember that it's not me, that they just are tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I went to Buffalo Wednesday night and did the same class with Sue and Jeff. And they had 2 new people there. And then one of their real consistent team members, he's one that's had great success with his son with the Thinker blend. And then they're using rosemary and thyme. And he's like, I think he said he was 11, but his school grades have improved, his behavior's improved. And so now we got to talk to him about the adaptive, and he was so excited about the adaptive. And then I had pulled a testimonial off the Golden Platinum page, a lady and her 7-year-old daughter. And I think she said within 3 days, there were no more tantrums. And this little girl was adopted. And so she had tantrums for 7 years.
Wow.
And 3 days, I believe it was. And so he was really excited about how that might help, well, even himself. So yeah, so I was really pleased with that. And then now I'm down in Laramie today.
Yeah. So you're making the rounds, right? You're
Yes.
doing fabulous. Awesome. I have on my list today, Dana, to call Debbie Anderson.
Oh, that would be good. I don't want to
get hold of her, but yeah, I'm sorry. I did not follow through. There's what needs to be going better, right? I turned her over to you and then I forgot about her, which isn't a good thing because I had the relationship, right? And so I apologize. I kind of dropped the ball there. So very good. Thank you for that share. Jen, can you join with us and share what's going well and what needs to be going better? Are you able to today?
Yes, awesome. I am. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I had a terrible week last week, and then this week it was like a whole can of worms opened up for me. So I was really grateful for that. They just loved it. I only got one person was there. And then two people from two other teams were there. And one is from Cindy and Lisa, and one is from Shears. And the interesting thing is she's with her cousin. She does it with her cousin, and she's done it since doTERRA opened. But her cousin lives far away. So she says, is it okay if I just keep bringing people to you? And I was like, that would be just fine. So she comes to all my classes, and then she's like, I just tell them, sign up with Jen, and she'll help you. And she comes every month to whatever I do. She comes. And so I just love her. The other one tried to one-up me the entire meeting. She had Cindy on the line, and every time I said something, she tried to one-up me, and I just let her go. I just was like, oh, really? And just try to, I've never had that before. Sort of like a little heckler or something in the background. She was trying to one-up the entire time. And then finally the friend who brought her was like, oh, put your phone down. We don't want to hear what Cindy's saying. We want to hear what Jen's saying. And it was just, we all just kind of laughed. And I said, here, take another cookie. Maybe just another cookie would help. And she was laughing. So it all ended up really good. Come to find out that my friend Tina, this month, her husband had a heart attack. Her dog died in the pool, like all this crazy stuff. So we sat and talked late into the night. But then what happened is I re-met or talked to a friend who owns a spa, and she's like, oh, Jen, I used to do this 20 years ago, but I'd love to do it again. Will you come? I want to incorporate it into my spa. And I was like, oh, I really need a facial. When can I come see you?
Oh, very good.
So
Very
I'm
good.
doing that right now. And then my friend Tina Dugan, who I just adore, was so thrilled. I don't know if you remember when I got that enrollment. That was my excited enrollment. She's like, yeah, I've been buying these magazines, and I buy them by the 10-pack, and I just give them out to all my friends and family. And she goes, I'm going to get this new. I said, are any of them enrolled in oils? And she goes, oh, no. They just come see me. And I said, well, let's see what we can do for them. And she goes, well, can I get stuff made? And I said, well, everybody's so individual. Why don't we bring them in and let them do their individual instead of you trying to take care of everybody? And she's like, oh, that would be fabulous. So, yeah. So it's really good. And I'm looking forward to this next month. And I have one more class today. That's why I'm running around like crazy. But I've got a class today, and I've got about 6 people coming, and friends. If they bring a friend, they get a free 5 ml adaptive roller bottle. And so they were really like excited about that.
Oh, very good, Jen.
So it's going good. But you know what? I, like Dana, need to do something where it's more new, not cross-line, and don't bring someone who's already in doTERRA. So I've got to word that better. So, because people are bringing people who already love doTERRA, and which is great. I'm happy to have them. But for the free gift, I think it needs to be not in, I don't know how to say that without just outright saying not enrolled.
Yeah.
So I need to work on that.
Someone new to doTERRA. I guess new to doTERRA. Okay.
A lot of times they say somebody who doesn't yet have an account with doTERRA or a membership with doTERRA.
Yeah.
Membership. Okay. Yeah, so I need to work on that, because I'm getting a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I have friends who love doTERRA. And I was like, okay, do you have any who don't have a clue what it is? Let's look at those guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited, and I've got through the year, I'm pretty set of exactly what I plan to do. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Isn't it great to have a sense of purpose?
It is. Oh my gosh, it totally is. And now before, when I had
We didn't get that, Sue. Try again. Jen, try again. I'm so sad I missed what she wanted to say. Are you still with us, Jen? We got a bad connection. Man, I'm just hanging on for her words. I'm like, what is she saying?
Might not have good enough cell service for the video.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stomach and worry.
Oh, we lost her.
Yeah.
Okay. Bummer. Well, that brings me to what I wanted to share today, because I actually purchased a flight to attend Elise Chedevy's training in Prague. So I'm signed up for the training. I purchased my flight, and that was a huge thing for me to consider. And I still can't believe I'm going. So I'm a little bit in shock as I share this. But Stacy Ballard posted on her page Elise Chedevy's 50 mentor calls. Have you partaken of that? Have you participated in that? Have you listened to those calls? I'm going to post that link on our page, Promoting a Healer in Every Home, because that is incredible. And I've listened to many of them before. In fact, I know I've listened to all of them in the past. But I listened to the first one and the second one and the third one and the third call today, I think. Anyway, but she always starts with making our 100 names list. And sometimes we get really tired of doing that, and even more tired of hearing it, and even bothered by, I don't know that I can come up with a 100 names list again. But she gives us a memory jogger, and you can find all kinds of memory joggers online. And so she just says, Google it. But she gives us some ideas with a memory jogger of who we want to add to our list. So as I held these new product previews the last couple of days, did we add to our list? Yes, we did. And I need to call those ladies and say, hey, I want your list. Would you give me some referrals? I won't say it quite like that, but I'm going to try to get those names from them so we can reach out and help. But in the call this morning that I listened to, Elise Chedevy gave us a really fabulous ranking system to help us know how to best use our 24 hours in a day. I will say that for many years now, I've been out there picketing for 56-hour days because I want more time, and yet that's something she's looking for. And so I'm going to give you this list of 7 characteristics that she's looking for as she talks to people. And so she gets people on her names list, and then she starts ranking them. Now she says, be careful, we're not judging them whether they will accept this product or not. But if we start with those that have more stars first, we're going to be using our time more effectively, and our names list will always be added to rather than depleted. And I think that's a really fabulous idea. And so she gives us 7 characteristics that we're looking for. She talked about number 1, and I'm going to post these on our page, but I'm going to actually post them in a blog on my website and then link it to my page. But she gives us 7 characteristics, and number 1 is that they are female. So she talks about the fact that if you look around at convention, how many percentage of the people that are there are female? And the answer is huge, right? And she's really talking about who are we going to reach out? What characteristics do our diamond leaders have? What characteristics do our diamond leaders have? And as I go through this, at the end, I'm going to have you rank yourself, okay? And so she talks about, number 1, there's lots of males that are very successful in this business. And there's lots of presidential diamonds that are now doing it as couples. So you can be successful for certain as a male, right? But she says the good majority are female. And so they get a star if they are female. And the second characteristic is that they have a need. They need more time, they need more money, or they need more purpose. We could describe, if Jen were still on this call, Jen has purpose. It's huge, and it gets her out of bed every day, okay? So women need more time, they need more money, they need more purpose. Or anybody that's going to be successful in this business, they have to have a need that propels them to action every single day. That gets them out of bed, that propels them to action, that gives them purpose and meaning in life, okay? So either that's time, money, or purpose. The third characteristic is their age. They are the age between 30 and 55. And she says, if we hone that in a little bit more, it would be 45 to 55. So who's on your ideal avatar for your business partner or your customer, right? and their ages are 30 to 55 or 45 to 55, however you want to hone that in. And the reason for that is because their circle of influence is bigger. Now, do we have 25-year-olds or 20-year-olds in diamonds in the business? Yes, we do. There's a few of them that are very successful at a very young age. We have an Australian presidential diamond that's 25 or 26 years old now, okay? And so, yes, they can be successful. But they must have a really outgoing personality so that they increase their circle of influence, or they're using other people's warm markets to grow their business. So they're really good at networking, really good at getting referrals, okay? So they can still be successful. But overall, those that are a little bit older have been around the world a little bit. They maybe have lived in more than one place. Their circle of influence is ever growing, and they also have that need that we talked about, okay? So the fourth characteristic is that they are health conscious, or they are into natural things. So they've experienced some discomfort in their bodies. They're not 20-year-olds where they feel fantastic all the time, where they have lots of energy, where they can go without sleep and still feel great. They actually have a need to be health conscious, to live a natural lifestyle. And so that's a fourth characteristic, that they're health conscious. They're going to the gym, they're shopping at Whole Foods or Sprouts or Trader Joe's or something like that. They're mindful of what they put into their body. They're having children. They want their children to be healthy. They're working at that. And so they're much more health conscious and into natural things, okay? The fifth characteristic is that they have business experience. Oops, hang on a second. The fifth characteristic is that they have business experience. Now, and that's different than a job, okay? So they have to have some kind of an entrepreneurial spirit where they've gone out and done something. I actually thought, when she said that, I thought about my 20-year-old son that has been such a struggle for us the last 5 or so, 6 years. And yet he's very entrepreneurial. So I'm on the phone with Jonathan the other day. I'm talking with a fellow that works for Thumbtack, which is a company that outreaches to professionals to offer their services. And so it's kind of like, think of Amazon for offering professional services. Okay, that's kind of what Thumbtack is. And Jonathan's looking to get a job at Thumbtack. So when I told him I had a connection, he wanted me to connect him so he could have a little more insight into the company and into what he might, who he might go after, or what he might say in an interview. And it was a really fabulous conversation. We talked with Apio for 40 minutes, and Apio is on my doTERRA team. So in the course of the conversation, he says to Jonathan, if you are hanging around your mother at all, then you have sales experience and you know how to be successful at sales. And so it was kind of an interesting conversation where he seriously built me up again and again and again to a boy that hasn't thought I was so great for the last many years, right? And so that was really fun. But in the course of the conversation, he asked Jonathan, do you have any sales experience? And Jonathan says, yes. Well, when Jonathan was in junior high at a charter school, he would stock his locker with soda pop and candy bars, and he would sell them from his locker, and he made a killing, right? And then he started making fudge, and he made the best fudge, and he would sell it by the piece, and he would sell it by the pan. Okay, if they really liked it, they'd pay him, I don't know what it was, I think it was $15 or $20 for a pan. Now, who was supplying the ingredients, right? And I was like, Jonathan, you got to pay me back for the ingredients if you're going to start selling fudge, right, from the pan. But at any rate, it was kind of a really fun experiment. It was kind of like your children setting up a lemonade stand on the street, taken to an extreme, right? And so we chuckled about that, him and I, as we reminisced on those days, right? And so he's got it in him to be a salesperson, to be an entrepreneur, even though it was small and he's only 20 years old. He's got it in him to have this entrepreneurial spirit, right? And so we're looking for somebody that has a business background, an entrepreneurial spirit, that maybe has done network marketing before, that believes in the successfulness that network marketing can be, but they didn't have the right product line or the right company. They weren't aligned with the right product and company, okay? And we've got that with doTERRA for sure. And so business experience is number 5, or entrepreneurial spirit. Number 6 is that they are socially influential. Now, I tell you that when I'm reaching out to my circle of influence, when I'm reaching out to those people on my names list that I add to all the time, I'm stalking them on social media. I'm looking at how many people respond to their posts. And I had one little girl, she's not a little girl. I had one gal who posted something, and she had 161 responses. And it was something to do with health. I don't remember now who it was, but I remember the 161 responses. I think it might have been the one that I just had lunch with. Isn't that embarrassing? I can't remember whether it was Lorraine or not. But at any rate, they're socially influential. They've got lots of followers, but more importantly than that is when they say something, people listen. Okay. Now I've got Angie on my team, and Angie is the one that has the son Jared, it's Jaden. My goodness, brain. That has her son Jaden has been in respiratory ICU for the last 10, 11 days. Okay. A week ago Monday, he was admitted to the respiratory ICU. And he's not doing much better with lipoid pneumonia due to vaping. All right. But Angie, in her bit of embarrassment as a mother for what has happened, she finally decided to put away the pride and post it on social media. Okay. So she posted it on social media, and get this. All right. When Angie posts something, she has lots of followers, but she posted a video of the dangers of vaping, and she had 42,000 shares. Now that's a woman of influence, and I've approached, and Angie's been using the oils. She was one of my very first enrollments, but she's always given away oils. She's always helped other people with oils, but she's never wanted to share this as a business because her husband's a very prominent businessman. Okay. So interesting experience when she has 42,000 shares of a video talking about the dangers of vaping. Does Angie have influence? Now, I'm not sure we're going to find anybody like that, but we're going to find a few like that, right? And so maybe Angie doesn't want to do this, but she can possibly lead me. Now, honestly, everybody in her circle of influence knows that she uses oils because she gives them for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, all the time. So she's a big customer on my team, and she's consistent at ordering quite a bit every month, okay? But that's the social influence we're looking for, and the fact that people listen to them. So that's characteristic number 6. And then number 7, get this. They have to have a supportive spouse. And my husband's listening to this with me this morning, and he goes, I get a star. And I said, yes, you do. I get a star because I have a supportive spouse, right? And so at any rate, she says that's really, really important, that their spouse supports them in sharing and doing doTERRA, building as a business, supports them in using doTERRA, and that they are willing to pick up the pieces and help with the family, help with the meal planning, that they are my cheerleader, okay? And they cheer us on. And certainly my husband has been that before for me. And I will say that I've always said that he's the wind beneath my wings. When I said to him last week on Thursday, when I got that text from Patrick Shadovy that said, are you in? Because I had already tried to get into this Prague training about 4 times. And he got, we're opening another, the first week in and another for me. I was so excited. And then I called my 17-year-old to say, Matthew, when's your play? When's your fall play? And the fall play is the week after I get back. And so that was good news, right? And so those are the only 2 people I called before I clicked the button to go. And I couldn't believe I did it because that was all the thought. Now, the next 24 hours, I'm going to say, were really kind of heck for me, all right? Because I realized what I had done. And I had a doula couple, or a couple that was considering me as their doula, and they're due November 5th. And they were in my hypnobirthing class. Well, I never heard back from them. I messaged them a couple of times. I emailed them my doula packet. I never heard back from them. And so that I justified clicking the button before I had checked with them personally one last time to go to this training in Prague. And then last night I spoke to them and I said, what have you decided? And they said, we want to work with you as a doula. And I said, okay, I need to share something that I did this last week. And I said, I just signed up for a training in Prague, and I'm going to be gone November 2nd through November 11th. I get back on the 11th about midnight, okay? And so at any rate, I said, do you hate me already? I shouldn't have said it like that. But here they were kind of flabbergasted, right? That they didn't get back with me, and I set this trip. Anyway, so we talked about it for a little bit, and she was already announcing in class that her doctor wanted to induce her early, and she was concerned about that because her blood pressure was creeping up there. This is the same little gal that was diagnosed with HELLP syndrome at 20 weeks. Now she's 33 weeks, right? Because she's implemented doTERRA's wellness protocols. And so now we've got to figure out when this baby's coming in. So we talked last night as the course of the class played out. And I said, okay, now when's your given guest date? And they all gave me a range. They didn't give me an exact date. So they learned well, right? And they said sometime in November. And so I said to them, either this baby comes before I leave town or this baby comes after. And I have been known on multiple occasions, I can think of 5 occasions right now where I touched down in the airplane and I was getting that text from my doula client saying, I think I'm in labor. Okay. And so I said that to them and so I shared that with them. And so hopefully things will work out. Or I said, if you think about it for a couple of days and you think that I need to refer you on to another doula, I'm happy to do that. And so at any rate, I'm going to this training, right? And so as I listened to these calls, I went, oh my gosh, you all can go to this training with me if you'll tap in to Elise Chedevy's 50 training calls. This is remarkable information. So I will post that on Promoting a Healer in Every Home. I'll post that on that page with that link. And Dana and Jen, I will tag you in that post since you were on the call. But I'm going to invite you to listen to those calls, and I'm going to invite you today. So here's what I'm going to offer. I'm going to offer to give you a surprise. I'm not going to tell you what it is, okay? And I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't give this to you while you were here for convention. So this is retrospect because I completely forgot about it, which I do. I get so caught up in hosting a team gathering that I forget what I was going to give away, right? So I've got a surprise for you that I'm going to give you. When you have your list, your names list of at least 100 people, and you have ranked them and given them stars for these, hang on a second, and given them stars for these 7 characteristics, and I'll go through them again, Jen, because you jumped back on with this. But once you rank them and you've got that done, I want to gift you something, all right? Because then we know who to reach out to. Then we know what our priority is, and we never fall short. And if we're working with people with these characteristics, we're always, always, always going to have referrals if we work it right, all right? So I'm going to give those 7 characteristics back to you that we're looking for diamond leaders. That Elise Chedevy did Erin, I need you to shut that off. That's really annoying, okay? So I want you to rank them so that you use your time really effectively as you prospect people, all right? So number 1 characteristic, they are female. And I've already talked about the fact that males do well in this business, but the good majority, 90% at least, are female. Number 2 characteristic, they have a need for time, money, or purpose. And Jen, I talked about you on that one, that you have purpose and it gets you out of bed every single morning. And so we're looking for females that have a need for time, money, or purpose. Number 3, they are ages 30 to 55. And if we were to narrow that down, 45 to 55, because they have greater circle of influence, they're a little more established, they have a greater need for the 4th characteristic of being health conscious and living a healthy wellness lifestyle. They're recognizing that as they get older, if they don't take care of their bodies, they're going to feel it. And so they might be going to the gym, they might be buying organic, they might be shopping at Whole Foods or Sprouts or Trader Joe's or something like that. They've got a sense of purpose. They're actively working to maintain their health. They've got little children. They're trying to keep their children healthy. They're tired of having sick children all the time. So they are health conscious and into natural things. 5, they have business experience, have an entrepreneurial spirit, and it's different than a job. And so, and it's okay if they don't have that, they don't get a star for that, right? But you're looking for the people with the most stars. And 6, they are socially influential. They have lots of followers. When they talk, people listen. Jen, that describes you, doesn't it? And so they're socially influential. Number 7, they have a supportive spouse. And so now I'm going to have you rank yourself. I wanted you to tell me how many stars you have as you are doing this business, okay? So when I started this business 10 years ago, almost, 9.5, in April it will be 10 years. So it's 9.5 years next month, okay? And so I was female, I get a star, okay? I didn't have a need. I had a need for more time, more money, and I had definitely had a purpose. So I could kind of give myself a star for that, but I did not want to do this business. And I wasn't looking for a business. I was just looking for natural solutions. Okay. My age was 45 years old, 46 probably. I was definitely health conscious, very health conscious. I wanted to live a more healthy lifestyle. And that's why I was searching for an essential oil company that actually had something that was effective every time. So I get to start for that. Number 5, did I have business experience? Well, you know what? I have done other network marketing businesses before. So I get to start for that. I always swore that I would never do another network marketing business, that if I ever were to do it again, I would go back to the one that I was with, Mekin. But I've sold Usborne books. I was a customer with the Melaleuca company. I never did anything with the business. So I have network marketing experience, but doTERRA had something that I was absolutely passionate about, and it became so even more than the Nikken that I was doing before. So, and socially influential, you know what, I see myself as kind of sort of socially influential, but I was definitely influential in the birthing world. People knew who I was. They trusted me. I had a reputation. People listened to me when I spoke in the birthing world. I'm not so sure I could say that with the social media. I'm not so sure I could say that. Now, I do have a number of followers now. I'm over, I think I have 14 or 1,500 followers on my personal Facebook page, which isn't a lot to me. And so I'm not sure I can say that when I speak, people listen. In the birthing world, they do. In doTERRA, they do. Outside of that, I'm not sure I can say that. So I can give myself maybe a half a star. And maybe I'm being a little hard on myself. I don't know. But number 7, definitely a star. I have a supportive spouse. So give yourself stars and let me know. Dana, how many stars do you have?
So there's 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could probably say I'm close to 7 now, because I would have not said that initially, but as you read through those, I was like, oh, yeah, I had those to
Yeah.
start with. I was 37 when I started, so not quite to the 45 or 45 mark, but had business background, and I did have a need for more healthcare. That was my biggest need. Definitely had a supportive spouse. We had done network marketing before, and I was like, nope, not doing that again. But I didn't say never. I had a couple of requirements that I had to have in order to move forward, and you were one of them. I had to have a supportive upline.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you reached out to me, I was like, that was the one of the 3 things I had said was I needed an upline that was supportive, because I didn't really have an upline. I had local upline, but nothing above me that was helping.
Yeah.
So you were an answer to prayer.
That's really cool. Thank you for sharing that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That was on your list, and you got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then even I had owned another business that failed, and I shouldn't say failed. It was not for me.
Yeah.
We bought it, and it was quite expensive. We bought it, and I got into it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what have I done? I was so over my head, and lots of spreadsheets and number crunching and very little people, even though I was in sales, but it was all network online. Like I was selling internet connections is what I was doing and making commissions off of it. But I had to be tied to my phone at home all the time. And that was, the technology wasn't there. I could forward the phone to my cell phone, but smartphones really weren't born yet. They had like, it was similar to the BlackBerry, but it was very primitive. And so it really didn't suit what I was doing. And I was like, okay, I have to be done. And we tried to sell it for a little while and then ended up just closing it down. And I thought, man, business is not for me, apparently.
Yeah.
I just hadn't found the right one.
There you go.
So yes.
And I can say that about my networking experience. You know, I was like, no, I'm not looking for a business. I don't need another networking company. But I will say that, you know, doTERRA filled a need that I could not help but share.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jen, how would you rate yourself on the scale on the star system? How many stars do you give yourself, Jen?
I think that I'm close to 7 now. Just a little bit like Dana. I've never worked. I've never worked. My husband has always taken care of that. But after Nate died, I did Mothers of Everyday Heroes. So you're talking networking. That's exactly what it was. And they said there was no chance that we could take care of all these people. And we had over 100 women come together. And to me, it was so simple in my head. I pick 5 friends who pick 5 friends who pick 5 friends who pick 5 friends. And what we had was like this gigantic, they came from all over the place because they wanted to be a part of it. So I'm going to count that as my business experience.
Very good.
And
if you could duplicate that in your doTERRA business, can you imagine the outreach? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And so, and then the other one was health conscious. I need to do better with that. I totally eat my feelings and I need to work on that. And when I'm doing empowered success right now. I got that and I've been doing it. and I was filling it out, and it's the eating portion that kills me. Everything else is pretty good. I'm really good on everything else. I love to exercise. I love all, everything else. So I think that's it. As far as spouse, my husband is like, he keeps saying, do you need more money for your company? What else do you need? What can I help you with? So he just loves it. And then he just got a global position. So he's traveling to a bunch of different countries now. And he said, well, as soon as you hit diamond, then I'll just promote you. And I'm like, well, that's not replacing your income. And he's like, I know, but he is super supportive. And so are my kids. My girls and my boys are both very supportive. And then what else was in there? I can't remember.
So you got socially influential. Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah.
Right. Business experience, health conscious, age 30 to 55. Yep.
Yeah.
Have a need for more time, money, purpose.
The purpose was a big one. And I didn't understand that because I kept saying, after all my kids got in school, people kept offering me jobs. And I was like, I could do that. I could do that. I could work for them. The city offered me, the mayor offered me a job. All these people offered me jobs, but I just wasn't feeling it. And I said, and then Doug is like, you don't have to do anything, Jen. You can do whatever you want. You just go. And I'm like, yeah, that gets old. It gets old shopping. It gets old just hanging out, going to lunch with friends. It gets like you need a purpose. And now I just feel like I still do all those things, but it centers around something and I can help people. And just like this week, I've just sat down and texted people and asked people, and how's it going? And what can I do for you? And that's what I love. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. So now you definitely have a 7, right? And you were actually, so when you enrolled in doTERRA, maybe not a 7.
No.
But after you had a health experience with these and lowering your cholesterol, lowering your blood pressure, and then you recognize, oh my gosh, this could fund my foundation.
Yeah.
That purpose became so huge that there's no turning you back, Jen, right? There's no turning you back.
No,
and
there's
you lost connection.
Yeah, it's just it's fun. It's just, and my whole family is into it. In fact, I've got, I don't know if I can turn you around, but I don't think that I can. I've got these I've got boxes everywhere, doTERRA boxes everywhere right now because Doug is like, get me back on my vitamins, my blood sugar's off again. I got all these On Guard. Mackenzie just got a huge box. So the whole family is like, Mom, where's our stuff? You're taking care of everybody else. Make sure you're getting us our stuff. And so I am. And she, and I signed up Mackenzie and I told her, just share with your friends. It's On Guard. Share with everybody you come in contact with. We want everybody to have On Guard. It'll keep you from getting sick. And she's like, okay. So yeah, no, I'm really excited. And so let me ask you a question. You want us to do this with 100 people? Is that what you're asking?
I want you to rate, not necessarily talk to them. You're just going to rate them. You're going to do the star rating on them so that you can know who you're going after first. All right. I'm going to show you something. So you just said, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this at all?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I reorganized my kitchen. All right. I don't know if you can see this. Now I've got to do a little cleaning. But everything, so there's dishes on there because I just did my juicing, right? So there's my juicer. But I got everything off my countertops. Up here in the cupboard, this is a side note, right? I put everything that I use on a day-to-day basis. So my blender and my juicer go on this shelf right here, okay? It's on my cupboard because I just juiced and I haven't put it away yet. But I really reorganized. And so I took here's my oils on the counter. I took all my supplements that were lacing my countertop, okay? And I put them in the drawer. And so I was so proud of myself. And my son came home from school and I said, Matthew, come here, look at this. And I showed him my supplement drawer, right? Now it does have it was my spice drawer. I got rid of a bunch of spices that I wasn't using. I actually put all my big Costco size spices in that drawer. And I couldn't even fit very many. And I only got half of the cupboard, of spices in there. And I was like, this isn't going to work for me. I kept it there for 24 hours. I was like, no, I don't like it. And so I ended up putting the supplements in there. So I'm showing this drawer to Matthew. And Matthew goes, Mom, that looks fabulous. He goes, but where's the Terrazyme? And so he looked through and he saw all the supplements, but we were missing the Terrazyme in there because we had run out and I didn't have a new bottle up there, which meant I had to take something out in order to put the Terrazyme in there. So I took out, I had 2 DDR Prime. So I took out a DDR Prime and made room for the Terrazyme. Anyway, it was kind of funny, Jim, that he's like, but where's the Terrazyme? See, our family uses these products all day long. And it's like they notice. And so my husband came to me, where's the DVR Prime? And I go, it's in the supplement drawer. And they've laughed at me. So the last 3 days I've said, it's in the supplement drawer. It's in the supplement drawer. It's in the supplement drawer. And they're just laughing at me, right? But I got it off the counter, which was my goal. Now I can't get all the oils off the counter. And if I didn't have any of the little bottles of spices in there, I would have room for all my oils in the drawer. But I do want them on display. I do want people to see that we live a wellness lifestyle. I just didn't want to be moving them all every day to wipe off the counter, right? I just wanted to clean off the counter. So anyway, it was kind of funny that we do strive to live a wellness lifestyle. And the funny thing about this is that this 17-year-old, if he doesn't have time for breakfast, he grabs a handful of spinach and a protein bar and runs out the door. And it's so funny to see him do that. And so this morning he made himself a salad. There's no school today, except for he's got rehearsals and he's got driver's ed. And so he had to have a lunch. I said to him, Matthew, I can't bring you lunch today. I've got appointments this afternoon and I can't bring you lunch. And so he packed a lunch. And I said, do you want to add some chicken to that? Because I'm not going to be able to bring you anything. To his spinach bowl, right? He had a spinach bowl. And so he said, yeah, I think I will. And so he added some spinach or some chicken and added some salad dressing that he could put on his salad. And anyway, it was kind of a funny moment, but we're all getting more health conscious as we live this wellness lifestyle. And so, my boys, they don't want to sell doTERRA. They say that, but the reality is that they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. They totally do. My son is swimming. I'll show you something real quick since we're showing our kitchen.
Yeah.
He's swimming and he started doing food prep. So I've got all these little things in my refrigerator because he's like, I need to eat more, but my friends are just eating more Takis and more chips and more, and I need to eat more. And so he loves his new trainer. He loves everything they're doing, but he said, but Mom, they don't have like their vitamins and that part of it's all missing. So they have all their protein and how they eat and how they work out and how they sleep. And then there's no vitamins. And I was like, yeah, it's when you have it in your life, it's a big miss if you don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can get to their parents or get to them,
Yeah, he's 18. I might grab him.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. So make your names list of 100 names, at least 100. I'm going to say don't stop there. All right. If you need to pull off a memory jogger on Google, pull off a memory jogger, but don't rate them. I mean, don't judge them, whether they're going to be interested or not. Don't go there. But if you'll do the star rating that Elise Shedevy gives us, and you give them the star rating, start with those that have the most stars. Okay. And then you'll maximize your time. And in the process, you'll add to your names list every single day because you're working with influential people that if they don't want to do the business, they're going to send people to you. Okay. So maximize your time. So when you get that done, when you get your names list and you've rated them on the 7-star setting, I want you to send it to me. And then I have something special for you that I'll mail out. All right. And
Debbie.
So, yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry,
Chelsea.
I jumped on late, and what I've gathered is that you're talking about Elise Shedevy's
Yes.
podcast and everything. So I started doing that last week. I made my 100 names list, and I challenged myself to go beyond that. And so I did more than 100,
Good.
and I'm almost to 150.
Awesome.
And then I just barely started the giving them the number thing.
Good.
And what I realized from when I tried to make my 100 names list, really even last year and the year before, is I was always so hesitant to write names on there. Cause I'm like, I prejudged them. No, they wouldn't really be interested but I find that I've found my voice when it comes to doTERRA and the products, even if some of these people I know use Young Living, and I'm still going to reach out because it's still doing a disservice to them if I don't tell them about doTERRA, because I know that we have a much better product.
Very good.
And I've been speaking out more on Abby and Gunner's Instagram, and I'm getting a lot of backlash right now for using essential oils. And instead of just saying oh, they're not all created equal, I'm sending podcasts and links to the doTERRA website with the veterinary panels and really just letting them have it,
Very good. You found your
voice.
voice.
It feels really good. And I know that people are going to come back and have something else to say about it, but it feels good that I'm like standing up for myself because I know they work.
Very good.
It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because I know that I'm doing what's best for my family and my pets. So I'm like adding some of those people to my list too. I'm like, I'm going to reach out to this person, individually and ask if they want to learn more since they don't know about oils and pets. So.
Okay, so Chelsea, you're going to send me your 100 names list with the star rating. Okay, how many stars do they have? Now, I'm building a spreadsheet that have those 7 areas in them, and I'm just going to put an asterisk in the box. Okay. Then I might have a column that says total stars. Okay.
Okay.
But at least says start working on those that have 4 or more stars. Okay. Start
Okay.
working on the 7 stars first, the 6 stars, then the 5 stars, the 4 stars. But start working on those that have the more stars first. And now you might think, oh, what if I blotch it up? You can't say the wrong thing to the right person, right?
Right.
When you put out there what you're looking for business builders, you can always fall back on the product line.
Yeah.
And I've not always done that in these 9.5 years. And so I went to lunch the other day with Lorraine. Now, honestly, Lorraine, she's female. She has a need. She's the right age. She's got business experience. She's socially influential, though she's not sure she has because she's made a really quick divorce. So her social influence has been diminished significantly due to that difficult divorce. And she doesn't have a supportive spouse. So she's got at least 5 stars. Met with her. She's actually working for another networking company. What's that Posh? You're familiar with this. What's that Posh? Something Posh?
Poshmark or is
No.
it Poshmark?
I don't know what.
No, maybe that's a clothing app.
It's a network marketing company that sells personal care products.
Okay.
Something with Posh in it. Anyway, so she says it's conflict of interest, but she said I can buy the product. So I got to get with her today to do a wellness consult. So we went to lunch. She shared her story with lots of baggage. Okay, and she's very comfortable doing that because she's a former client. But I just it's really fun to know that what she says I can use my product. And so I'm really excited to talk further with her. And she may not be my ideal business, but I know she can lead me to people. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to ask you.
Can I also
Rate that to
say-
me, right?
Okay. Hey, can you stop? You're too big for that. I'm sorry. So, working from home, yay.
Yes, yes.
What was I going to say? Oh, I'm sure everybody has received these messages on like Instagram and Facebook where people, reach out and they're like, oh, hey, you look really awesome. I would love to be your friend. I have this at home business working out. Like, would you want to make money just wearing athletic clothes? I get those all the time. And I used to just say, no, thank you. Like, I already work from home. I love what I do, blah, blah, whatever. But now what I've been doing ever since convention, I just something changed for me. And now I'm reaching out back to them and offering doTERRA as a business to them.
Good for you. I started doing that with telemarketers.
Really?
And my boys do it too.
That is so funny. I would love to hear what you say to them.
It kind of depends. And it kind of depends what I'm doing. Like I've had 3 interruptions on this phone call or on this Zoom call.
Yeah.
And so with those interruptions, I've just hung up. But, if I have a moment, I'll actually say something. And it's kind of like what you just did. I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. And are you health? I might actually ask one of these things off the these gave us, but it's kind of funny to turn it back on them and try to sell them something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of funny. They usually hang up on me, which is the idea, right?
Oh, funny.
But having a social influence is going to be a big deal. So we do got to be mindful on how we come across. We don't want to, give them a bad taste in their mouth.
Right.
And,
Don't touch that.
yeah. Okay. For today, so I'm going to end recording.